What's up, guys? It's your girl, Emily Curl, and we're here at iHeart right now, and I am joined by John K., who you probably know from his killer song, If We Never Met. John, welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
So great to be here. iHeart.
And we heart you right back. So much love happening here. So much hearts.
A lot of love, a lot of hearts.
So let's talk If We Never Met. I'm obsessed with that song, and so many of us here are. How does it feel to get that response when you put your music out there and to hear people say that to you?
It's really special to feel like you're really connecting. I mean, I think that's really the whole story, is like we were able to create something that is actually connecting to people. And that's what we want to do. I mean, I think that's every artist's desire, is just to put out art that connects.
I think one thing I love so much about the song too is it's such a universal feeling of like, if you hadn't met that person or made this decision or do this thing, then your life may not be the way it is.
I did, well, I can tell you now, it definitely wouldn't. I don't think I'd honestly even be pursuing music if I hadn't met a lot of people.
Okay, that's what my question was. Is it written for someone or is it written for a lot of people?
Yeah, it was written for the love of my life. That changed everything. That allowed me to love something more than I love myself. And that allowed me to get outside of my own head and want to do something for someone else. You know, she believed in me and my manager believed in me and a lot of people that wouldn't let me give up on this dream. And then to have that song be the one that leads is really special.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Like, what does she think when she hears it now, just like people singing it?
She just cries every single time. Every time. It's just one of those songs, and we didn't know it when we were writing it. Rob just off camera said he did. He knew it.
Rob knew.
But we didn't. It came from a very honest place, a very vulnerable place, and I think that's how the best songs are born.
When you think back on your career, maybe in 10 years, do you think this is going to be the one song you look back on and be like, wow, that song changed my life, changed my trajectory?
Yeah, because it is. I mean, I think this will always have its moment and always be such a special, special way to kick off a career with a song that involves my whole team. If I never met every piece of the puzzle that got us this far. And that group will continue on for the rest of how long I'm doing this, because that's who I am. I'm gonna take everybody that started with me to the finish line with me, and this will always be a special moment. I hope it's not the biggest moment, but it's gonna be a very special moment along the way.
Of course. One thing I love so much about you too is I feel like you're always talking about how you're working with your best friends and people you love and admire. Do you think that makes these experiences tenfold because you are doing it along people that you love?
Hell yeah, I get to hang out with my best friends. They ground me, they call me out, they tell me if my song isn't good, and they're like, nah, you need to rewrite that. Like, it's truly iron sharpening iron, and it just makes me better in every single way. Keeps me grounded, keeps me motivated, and they're just my boys. I know if I send them a song and they're like, this is dope, I would send this to my friends that we made a good song. Because they wouldn't lie to me.
But they'd tell you the opposite, they'd be like, no, we hate that.
I mean, most of the time I send them a song, they're like,
you got him in the back again.
It's all right, you can do better.
Now, I also love the name John K., and it feels like we're already on a nickname basis. Like,
I was born with it.
John K.? You know? So yeah, is that like, do your friends call you John K.? Have they always called you that?
No, so, I mean, they have since the birth of the project. I liked it and it stuck and it felt strong. It was Johnny for a while. Once we started to get a couple songs written, that the music didn't match the name. Like, Johnny felt almost too boyish because the music was really mature and soulful. And so once we landed on John, it just felt really strong.
John K.
John K. Yeah, John.
I feel strong just saying it. So no, we talked about this before our camera started rolling, but you're originally from Orlando and you still live in Orlando.
Yeah.
But at some point you moved to Nashville to pursue songwriting.
I lived in Nashville before John K. was really birthed. So I lived in Nashville and I was writing constantly. And Rob, who's now my manager, basically called me out from Orlando and was like, you're better than the music you're making. Come to Orlando and let's write a real song. I was like, oh, really?
Damn, okay.
Okay. So I go to Orlando. We wrote a fire song that we'll never release because it's actually not that good. But it started the idea that we could do something different and kind of steer it a little more pop. And then we just branched out from there. So it wasn't until I left Nashville, moved to Orlando, that the John K. Project was born.
Now, were you writing more country music in Nashville? Is that what you mean by transferring to pop?
Yeah, it was more in those rooms. It was very singer-songwriter, country, soul, and it lacked a feeling of relevance. And it was almost just like I was singing because I was a good vocalist and not singing with any identity.
I want to talk to you too about how you've said that there's a moment that you turn from a singer into an artist. What did you mean by that?
The John Kay Project. It was when I felt it and believed it and became it. And I was like very connected to the lyrics and very focused in what we were trying to do. If We Never Met is like the ultimate version of just becoming the artist. We used to do this thing where we would write a song, I would sing it, it would sound pretty, I'd put runs all over it to make it sound good, and then we'd have the other writer and another writer in the room sing it, and then we'd realize it wasn't really a well-structured song, or maybe it wasn't a great song, but I would just sing songs and make them sound good, rather than really dive in and focus on a well-structured, just a good song, you know?
And you felt like If We Never Met is like a direct reflection of you and who you are at your core.
It's the most vulnerable I've ever been in a room, and I think it came out on the record, and it was in that very small moment, and we were able to capture it, and because of that, it's really special.
And how special that's like the big hit too that everyone loves, like such a cool moment.
It's surreal, it's perfect. I couldn't have written it out any better than that.
That's so great. If you were to go to a room of, aspiring artists and singers, what piece of advice would you give them, knowing that you've been in their shoes before, to sort of launching into this next level of their career?
Confidence and commitment is key. Just whatever you want to do, just do it confidently. Whatever it is, if it's a live show, if it's a write, just be confident. There's so many great ideas and moments that get lost in your own mind because you're too afraid to say them. Or you're too afraid to act on it, you're too afraid to do it. So I would just say, confidence.
Did you have a moment when it just clicked? Like you were just talking about when you step on stage and you do this, did you have one where you stepped on stage and you're like, this is it? Or when you sang one song and you're like, this is it?
Honestly, I feel like it's still happening right now.
Right.
There's so many little moments that add to the momentum of the project and that add to the confidence, and it's reps. Live shows are reps to get out there and know that you can perform great at live shows, and you find your little pockets and your moments and you organize it, and it's just hard work. It's a lot of reps. It's just doing show after show after show, getting in rooms, writing a bunch of bad songs to have that good song. Right. It's reps.
Putting in the work.
Yeah.
And we're so excited for you because you're performing your very first New York City show tonight at Mercury
Go.
Lounge.
My great-grandfather's name is John. I'm his namesake directly. I was born the same year that he died. I never met him. But he used to gig after hours with Louis Armstrong, who's a trumpet player in New York City. So to come back with the music that only passed through the Johns in my family and come back to New York City and sell out on my first show in New York is like, Grandpa's just like, he's like, yeah. He's like, that's my boy.
Damn,
go get
the
it.
chills.
Like,
That's
go get
good.
it. So it's
that's special.
On so many levels. There's so many full circle moments that have happened today, and it's just another one that is all kind of like an If We Never Met thing. It comes back to that
full circle.
song. Yeah.
What do you do right before you walk on stage?
Right
I
before
feel like
I
you
walk
guys
on
probably
stage.
have some crazy cheer.
You know what?
rituals,
It's
knowing you.
kind of the opposite. So
okay.
right before I walk on stage, I say a little prayer. I get as calm as possible, and then I hear that first note, and it goes from completely calm to just like a 12 out of 10 energy. Just full on, like, let's go. 12 out of 10, like, gonna just, that's what this means.
12 out of 10?
Yep.
Is it? And
It
that's
just
the
means confidence. Like
the
confidence
12.
to a 12.
Is 12 your lucky number too? Like when you see 12s, do you feel lucky?
It's just the number I associate with energy.
What else can we expect from you in the new year?
A lot. The 17th, If We Never Met, featuring Kelsea Ballerini, is coming out. So she loved the song so much, she reached out, we were able to get together, write her own verse in it, and she felt very connected to it on her story within her relationship, and wrote her story into the song, and it's very, very special. And then the 31st, we're dropping another single.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and
Can you tell us anything about the single?
It's dope.
That's all we need to know. It is dope. Here at iHeart, we obviously heart you, but what are 3 things that you heart right now? It can be anything.
I heart my dog, I heart this city and the energy inside this city, and I heart music because we got to go play a really badass live show. And I don't know if I can say that, and I apologize if I can't, but let's go. I'm just so pumped to be here in this moment, enjoying it. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, we're so excited for you.
And I heart. That's 4 things.
Yes, we'll take that.
There you go.
We heart you right back, John Kay. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.